Eddie, sir. Have a seat. You want some coffee, son? It's fresh. As fresh as it gets around here.
Yes, sir. I haven't had a good cup of coffee in 3-4 days now. It smells great. Thank you, sir.
Name and rank.
Sergeant Joe Hartsock, sir. Well, everyone calls me Red. So how long is this gonna take? Sir, I'd just like to get back to my men.
Second?
Sir?
You and your men are in second squad, correct?
Oh, yes, sir. Second took heavy losses in quarantine. I was with third at the time.
Under Sergeant Matthew Baker?
Sort of, yes, sir.
Sort of.
We were promoted less than 20 days apart. Quarantine seems so minor next to what happened in St. Savor.
And your first objective as a sergeant was taking St. Savor?
Yes, sir.
How did the drop go?
Rocky. There was so much smoke and fire, we didn't even see Musa.
Musa?
He was the last in the stick. Took a piece of flak in the chest. He was dead before we even noticed he was on the floor. We just left him in the plane. Can we talk about something else, sir?
All right. Tell me what happened after you landed in Normandy.
August 17, 1942, somewhere in South Pacific. It was just the thick jungle. I had my third cal, my brownie, all along the mission. The forest was too quiet. Mosquitoes, marshlands, and jungles we've never been before. There were tarantulas in those bamboo bushes. We were aware that at any moment we'll be attacked, ambushed, and any kind of booby traps all around the town. It seems the town has abandoned days before because there was smoke all around, and probably before 2 to 3 days there were dead paratroopers, probably 101s, but we can't check them. One time we checked one and it was rigged with the booby trap. 3 of people died. The only thing we found was water buffaloes, no Japs. We walked for days. We walked in night, but nothing was found. Our legs were trembling, and to myself I was asking, what am I doing here? Are we in the war or in the training camp? On the other hand, the environment was so cool. No war sounds, no cannons, no MGs, just birds chirping, monkeys, and other animals. But in the depth of our heart, we knew the danger is near. We traveled to the jungle day and night without stop, without rest for more than 7 days. And then we found a place to rest, a place that we felt like safe. But there were no birds, no jungle sounds, no waterfalls, just the war environment. And we knew we are near the war. Our radios were all broken, but we got the support of Charlie Company, and they had fresh radios, and we talked with our base, and they ordered us to move ahead. Move ahead. We really didn't know what is ahead, what is behind, what is in front, what is up. The only thing we knew was this is suicide. We were told by the Charlie that the jungle is rigged with booby traps. Half of the men in Charlie had died because of the booby traps. They were ripped apart, and it was fear that took in our heart when we heard the news. And then we faced it. It was very painful. A colleague died because of a booby trap. We couldn't ask for help. We were ordered not to shout, but how can we resist the pain? Imagine 2-3 bamboo sticks just piercing through your guts. Man, I've seen enough. I've seen the faces of men who faced a terrible death. The bamboos, the sticks were poisoned with different venoms. A suicide. But deep in the heart, we knew that we have a job to do. And this was a surprise. There were booby traps, some kind of firework like something, but nothing happened. We thought that we were ambushed, but no Japs, just booby traps. Most of our men were wounded because of these nasty booby traps. So, I don't know what happened to us there, but I'm happy we are still alive. I'm happy that I'm not crazy, because I've seen things that a man should not see or feel or experience. During the next days, we've encountered the first Japs.
その調子だ行け
First we heard some noises, so we set up our 30 cals, our brownies, and we set up an ambush. I got my 30, and luckily we have a flamethrower. That was the tough guy. Nothing damped his courage. He was ready to fight. He was the true motivation for us. And we started fighting. We started firing our 30 cals like lightning. After all these weeks, we felt the war. We felt the motivation. The fight continued for more than an hour, but it was intense. It was raining all over, but we managed to kill them all. We managed to burn them all. Only thing we heard was Banzai, Banzai. They were shouting. I mean, I had no idea what they were shouting, and I didn't want to know what is it. The flames separated their flesh from the bones, and at that moment, I knew I was not the man who was before, the kind person. The war has changed me, my day. The only thing we knew is to shoot, burn, kill, that's all. And mainly to survive. The war is not beautiful, the war is not good. Sometimes we are chilled with the sounds of cars. But when you're really fighting in a war, you know that something is wrong. That Jap may be someone's son. And we were all. There were times I felt like, why we are doing this? But they did something that we can't forget. The Pearl Harbor. It is wrong, it is a crime to attack someone unarmed, and they did it. We weren't ready, they just killed us in the cold blood. That is the only thing that made me to kill the Japs. That was not revenge, but that was justice. Next day, we were told that the help is on the way. They had some tanks, some supplies, things we needed, but they didn't arrive on time. We ran out of supplies, ammunitions, and we ran out of our mindset. At that moment we were like animals searching for a prey, and then we heard some Japs from distant, and we saw the base. It was a heavily guarded base. That was our primary target. So we start attacking, and when we fight, we knew that this is not going to be good, because first we saw just 3-4 MGs and 2 snipers on the towers, but when we started firing, more than 200 Japs came from that fucking base. 200. The only thing we had was call for artillery support. And we did that. Man. That was the firework we are expecting. We called for artillery barrage and they did the job very well. That was a sight. I still remember the sky after the attack, the smoke, the faces of Japs, the faces of us, the victory in our face. Yeah, it was amazing. We had a sniper and he killed a bunch of Japs with one shot, and that was a great relief. And then came the artillery. Those artilleries were named as howitzers and they are called blackjacks. But blackjacks were good. Their precision is good. They fired more than 10 rounds and they hit the targets directly. No more misses. They were a blessing. After the war, I met some of them and I thanked them myself because they were the real saviors of that moment. If not, those 200 Japs will slaughter us all. First we heard was rumbling sounds, just like thunder from the distance. And we could clearly see the rounds coming down. They are a little bit slow, but they were big. We could see the rounds just hitting the targets like fireworks. Their fire rose to the high in the air, just like touching the sky. Man, that was so satisfying. The only thing we heard was take it out or something like that. But it was amazing. It was the best artillery section we were ever witnessed. They were our saviors. More than one-third of men were saved, Japs were saved, and we were able to burn them and kill them. And we found the captain with some samurai swords, just five, and we didn't kill them. They were POWs for us because they knew things that we always wanted. And after that night, the help came and we were a little bit disappointed, but that is not their thing, that is not their fault. They were moving in tanks and jeeps and the roads were damaged and we were not to blame them. After all, they came, we were happy because we did the job before the help arrives, And again, thanks for the artillery men who were able to kill most of the Japs on that day. This is Red. This is my story. This is what really happens in the Pacific. The night was amazing. We held a feast, but no songs, because many men of my team were died, wounded badly, and as the captain, I was worried about them. Some of them died in front of my eyes. That is it, Sergeant. That is it. That is all I have to say. This is my story.
Remember that butter bar that was in the movie? Man, I should have fragged that motherfucker myself.
Woo, I'd hate to be them with those fast movers rolling in, dropping snakes and nape on their heads. Morning, Charlie.